The road was colder than Zainab expected. At night, the familiar paths of the village changed shape. Shadows stretched longer, trees leaned closer, and every sound felt like a warning. Mariam's hand was damp in hers, trembling slightly, but she did not complain. She only walked, barefoot in her slippers, trusting Zainab with the quiet faith of a child who had already lost too much. They walked until the house was far behind them, until the air no longer smelled like dust and cruelty. Only then did Zainab slow. "Are we far?" Mariam whispered. "Not far," Zainab lied gently, "just resting." They sat beneath a mango tree by the roadside. Zainab unwrapped the nylon bundle and gave Mariam a small piece of bread. Mariam ate slowly, as if afraid the food might disappear if she hurried. "Will Felicia find us?" she asked. Zainab swallowed. No. But fear lived in her chest. She knew Felicia would notice by morning. She knew anger traveled faster than pity. They waited until dawn. When the sky began to pale, Zainab stood. "We're going to Auntie Sadia's place." Mariam nodded, even though she barely remembered the woman, her mother's friend from years ago, who sold pepper at the junction and once pressed sweets into their palms when Felicia was not looking. It took hours. Their feet ached, dust clung to their legs. Cars splashed muddy water onto their clothes as they passed, some drivers slowing too long, eyes curious in ways that made Zainab step closer to Mariam, shielding her with her body. By the time they reached the junction, the sun was high. Auntie Sadia's stall was still there, wooden, crooked, stubbornly standing like it had refused to die. She was arranging tomatoes when she saw them. "Jesus," she breathed. "Zainab." Zainab's strength left her all at once. She did not cry loudly. She only bent forward and shook, Mariam pressed against her side. Auntie Sadia pulled them both into her arms without questions, without judgment. Inside the small room behind the stall, they drank water and sat on the floor. Auntie Sadia listened as Zainab spoke, about the slap, the hunger, the plan to send her away, the night escape. When she finished, the woman sighed deeply. "That woman is wicked," she said, "but you did well to run." "Can we stay?" Zainab asked, fear tight in her voice. "Just for a little while." Auntie Sadia hesitated. Life was already heavy on her shoulders, but she looked at Mariam's thin wrists, at Zainab's eyes that had grown too old too fast. "You can stay," she said finally, "but life here is not soft." "I know," Zainab said. "I can work." And she did. Days became routine again, though different from before. Zainab helped at the stall washing pepper, calling customers, carrying loads that made her arms burn. Mariam stayed close, sometimes helping, sometimes just sitting quietly, drawing shapes in the dust. At night, they slept curled together on a thin mat. Hunger still visited, but it did not live there permanently. No one slapped them for speaking. No one locked food away. It felt like breathing, after being underwater too long. But safety was fragile. One afternoon, Auntie Sadia returned tense. "Felicia came here," she said quietly. Zainab's stomach dropped. She asked questions, said you stole money before running. Zainab shook her head. "I didn't." "I know," the woman said, "but lies are loud." That night, Zainab did not sleep. She knew Felicia would not let go easily, not because she cared, but because control was something she hated to lose. 3 days later, a man arrived. He wore a clean shirt and carried a notebook. "A social welfare officer," he said, responding to a report of abandoned children. Felicia stood behind him. Zainab felt Mariam's fingers tighten around hers. Felicia smiled sweetly. "I was worried sick," she said. "These children ran away. I only want what's best for them." Zainab spoke before fear could stop her. "She was going to send me away," she said. "She beats us. She starves us." Felicia laughed lightly. "Children exaggerate." The officer looked from one face to another. He asked questions. He listened. Mariam surprised everyone. "She locked food," she said softly. "Zainab hid scraps for me." Silence followed. In that silence, something shifted. The officer closed his notebook slowly. "We'll need to investigate," he said. "Until then, the children will not return." Felicia's smile cracked. "You think you can take them from me?" she hissed. "They are not property," the man replied. Felicia left in fury. That night, Zainab held Mariam and cried silently into her hair, not from fear, but from release. For the first time since their mother died, an adult had listened. Weeks passed. The investigation continued. School arrangements were discussed. Auntie Sadia was approved as a temporary guardian. Zainab returned to school late, sitting in the back, older than most but determined. Mariam smiled more often now. She slept through the night. Sometimes, Zainab still woke from dreams of Felicia's voice. Sometimes the future frightened her. But each morning, she looked at Mariam, alive, safe beside her, and knew she had chosen correctly. The world ahead was still uncertain. But it was theirs. And for now, that was enough.